walking my dish up to the judges, and I just can't help but think about how appalling it looks. I still don't know why I poured the parfait onto the plate, but if every single flavour on that plate is absolutely bang on, spot on, perfect, delicious, there might be a glimmer of hope that I'm not in the bottom 3.
It's time to check on the pastry, and it's looking really nice.
Really happy with the puff pastry. Super nice and crispy, and it's got a good amount of kind of strength to it as well, so the judges will be able to use that to eat the tartare.
I think I've actually created something that's really unique.
That's the invention, really, of reinventing beef Wellington, is that puff pastry ceases to become just a casing for the beef and becomes an integral part of how you eat the dish.
Listen up, everybody, not long now. 5 minutes to go. Come on.
Oh, thank you.
This is a mess.
It's time to start plating, and I want to get that really nice, neat ring of the steak tartare. That's going to reference that slice of rare beef in the middle of a beef Wellington. I think I've done enough today to reference beef Wellington, which was the whole challenge.
Stop! 30 seconds!
Hasn't set. There are seconds to go in this cook, and I'm still debating with myself whether I leave the parfait off the plate or whether I put it on. I'm sort of playing eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I don't know if I leave it on or not.
I need to do something. I need to make a decision.
Never seen such intensity. Only 10 seconds to go.
Seconds.
9, 8, 7,
Just gonna tip
6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
That was the
1.
wrong decision.
That's it.
Holy cow.
Everybody tools down, except Carly. You've got another 15 minutes.
I now have an extra 15 minutes on top of my cook, but I need to make them count. I'm really worried about my puff pastry. It can't be undercooked, otherwise I'll be straight into the bottom 3.
I don't want to be in that pressure test tomorrow, so I'm doing everything I can to not be there.
Carly, you've got 10 minutes left.
Thank you.
If I had an extra 15 minutes, I would be able to cook that beef through properly. But there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to hope for the best.
My parfait didn't work. I decided to just pour some on the plate because I couldn't leave it off, but I'm questioning whether that was a good decision or not. I just made a massive error in judgment and just didn't give myself enough time. I just wish that I was in Carly's position.
Carly?
Yeah?
5 more minutes left, yeah?
Yes, George?
I really need to get this pastry out of the oven. I need to get my pastry ring around the outside, and then I need to fill it with the coconut duxelle. It's looking really, really nice. I'm hoping that the judges can see the connection between beef Wellington and my dish. It's the same shape, it has the puff pastry around the outside, and it has the elements of the duxelle and then a filling, but it might be too far removed from the traditional dish.
Carly, this is it. You have 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carly, that's it. Well done. Today, you had to reinvent the beef Wellington. Bottom 3 dishes, unfortunately, will put their makers into tomorrow's pressure test. First dish we'd like to taste belongs to Aaron.
Today, I've definitely reinvented that classic dish of beef Wellington. I've taken all those familiar flavours and textures, but put them into a whole new format.
You had all the advantage, didn't you?
Yeah.
Did it pay off?
I mean, certainly puff pastry in an hour and a half versus puff pastry in an hour is a massive advantage.
So, the dish?
So it's a beef Wellington tartare. I've played on the flavour profile of a beef Wellington, so the beef, mushrooms, a bit of mustard, the herbs and the puff pastry, but reinterpreting it with the pastry as the croutons to dip in.
Go.
This is a really hard challenge. Re-invention is by far the hardest challenge we ever do. For me, when I have a mouthful of that rare beef and the mushrooms and the puff pastry, I get beef Wellington.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the rough puff is absolutely delicious. You've cooked it beautifully, it's perfect colour, it's got lovely flakiness. And I love that idea of using the pastry as a little vehicle, putting the mushrooms, putting the beef, putting the herbs. Before you hand it back, what is my favourite bit of a beef Wellington?
That's the ends.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
I've never been in the top 3, and today is probably one of my best shots at it. I'm really hoping that I've done enough.
That pastry looks beautiful, Aaron.
Next dish we'd like to taste belongs to Carly.
I've reinvented the beef Wellington, but it's in quite an extreme way. So it could either be a disaster or the judges might love it. I just don't know.
You played your pin.
Yeah, I did.
Do you give it back now, or did?
Actually,
Because
do I do
you're in
it?
charge of the
Hello,
of
you.
the safe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I miss you.
It's been so long.
4 weeks
I
you've
know.
had this.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, to be honest, if I didn't have the pin, I don't think I would have had a dish up at all. So it really saved me.
Good. So, what have you cooked?
I've made sweet Wellington with caramelised pineapple, coconut duxelle, and a coconut and rum ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got the pineapple representing the meat in the middle, you've got the coconut representing the duxelle, and you've got this great, crispy, golden outside.
Well.
I'm buying that. I'm buying that because of the ring of pineapple. I'm buying it mainly because that pastry is fantastic and actually better than the pastry on most beef Wellingtons.
It tastes really delicious. Pineapple's cooked well, and I can see the references.
Thanks, you.
Carly.
Thanks, guys. Oh my gosh.
The next dish we'd like to taste belongs to Eliza.
I'm happy with my flavours. I'm just hoping the elements of my beef and my pastry are spot on.
What's the dish, Eliza?
I fillet steak with a prosciutto crumb, thyme pastry, confit mushrooms and a red wine jus.
There are lots of visual clues to the flavours of beef Wellington.
Beef is cooked well. Love that little crumble on top, a little smear of mustard over the beef. And I love the flavour of thyme in there. Because that's, seriously, for me, I think of beef Wellington when I taste thyme.
I'm with George. The thyme comes through nicely.
Thanks.
Thanks, Eliza.
Thank you.
Eloise, your turn.
Walking my dish up to the judges, and I just can't help but think about how appalling it looks. I still don't know why I poured the parfait onto the plate, but if every single flavour on that plate is absolutely bang on, spot on, perfect, delicious, there might be a glimmer of hope that I'm not in the bottom 3.
So, Eloise, you had a very good cook in the mystery box. This cook may not have gone quite so well.
Not quite. The last 5 or so minutes, just everything kind of fell to pieces. So there was supposed to be a liver parfait, but I didn't have time to let it set, so it was runny. There's a crepe puree underneath, some sautéed and pickled mushrooms, and some pastry.
While Gary's tasting, I'll give you one quick masterclass on making chicken liver parfait the old school way. Frying pan, shallots, garlic, sweat, Madeira, throw the livers in, just blend it with butter.
Yep.
And it's old and, yeah, it turns a little bit grey, but it's so much more delicious.
Liver pate.
It's liver pate.
And it tastes all right.
What I love about the dish is these little puff pastry discs, which have got a nice rise with the prosciutto on the bottom. You know, that with a beautiful dollop of pate and a few of those mushrooms on there, and you'd be top 3. But the puddle of ruddy liver is distinctly unattractive.
Yeah.
And it's such a pity because this, delicious.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Eloise.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Thank you. I knew that I was taking big risks today, and that was either going to pay off with a big reward or it was going to send me into the bottom 3. I'm fairly confident. I'm staring down the barrel of a pressure test.
They liked my pastry.
What a great day. We saw tons of creativity and some really out-of-the-box thinking, which is great. There certainly was some stiff competition for the top 3 dishes today. But unfortunately, the bottom 3 are going to find themselves in tomorrow's pressure test. And from there, one of you will be going home.
When you reinvent a dish, you've got to bring visual clues and flavour clues to the dish that you're reinventing. But more than that, it's fantastic if you bring us the delicious twist on beef Wellington. Please step forward, Tamara.
Thank you.
Smashed it today, well done. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant work. Joining Tamara in the top 3 is... Eliza.
Wow. Well done.
Eliza, you brought us those familiar flavours of beef Wellington, but in a different form. Well done.
Thank you.
And the third person was you. Aram.
Well done. Well done.
Aram, welcome to the podium. Congratulations.
What a day. I can't believe it.
Tamara, Eliza, Aram, congratulations. You step back in line.
This is one hell of a day to finally make it into the top 3 because finals week's already so close. I'm absolutely amazed, so happy.
So didn't expect that.